Academic supports for college students with serious mental health conditions. Video series. Video 2, How Mental Health Conditions Shape Academic Participation. Students with mental health conditions often experience challenges that can affect academic performance. Energy level. Having a mental health condition can impact a student's energy level. Students may struggle to wake up, stay awake, struggle to get to sleep, stay asleep, feel exhausted, have difficulty concentrating, feel hyperactive or agitated, or experience debilitating physical symptoms.
So we know that symptoms of mental illnesses, and there are lots of them, do impact student energy. Students often feel enormous fatigue. And if you think about what's going on, if they're experiencing symptoms and they're not able to sleep on top of a college lifestyle already, that's going to impact their energy levels. Sometimes students' symptoms cause them to be internally focused, which takes a lot of energy and can be very exhausting. Students can be very sort of labile in their emotions, which is also exhausting. So they, can have their energy levels really be impacted. The same thing for concentration. If students are feeling very depressed or feeling very anxious, that is going to really interfere and disrupt their capacity to be focused very, intensely on just their academics. Right? Their brains and their bodies are working hard to respond to those symptoms. And to have to write a paper or take an exam, it can be a lot for students who are living with those types of symptoms in terms of their cognition and their energy levels.
I think it's really important for faculty to understand from a concentration and energy point of view that some symptoms may just show that you're not interested and can lead the professor, teacher, whoever, to think that the student's just lazy or tired, when in reality, like, they're just doing the best they can. I know with ADHD, for me, it's just really hard to focus during these longer classes, and especially over Zoom, it's equally distracting. And so having a professor understand that rather than just criticize would be really helpful.
When students with mental health conditions struggle with energy, faculty may observe issues with attendance, class participation, completion of assignments, reduced engagement with the material. Executive functioning. Executive functions are how the brain uses natural capacities to set, manage, and attain goals. Executive functions include how we self-regulate, direct, and organize our behavior. Executive functions also guide goal-directed behavior across situations.
So students with mental health conditions often struggle with time management skills. Many students struggle with time management skills, particularly when they come to college. But when you're having to also manage a mental health condition on top of that, and if you are struggling to sleep well and eat well and manage your relationships and your academics, and your concentration is impacted, that can impact your ability to manage your time and your responsibilities within those times well. People can feel very overwhelmed by it all, and then that really kind of radiates out into time management when students feel overwhelmed. Once they get behind, then it snowballs, and then it kind of goes down from there.
So in class, it may impact as far as attendance. Attendance is a big thing because if you're going through a mental episode, you may miss a few days, you may come late, you may be in class, but you may not be necessarily picking up what's going on. So you may seem a little off the next class or a little bit behind. You may ask more questions. And participation, again, sometimes may be hard because of the fear or the being judged, or maybe you didn't have time to do the reading because that night you were having a hard time. So it may be a little spaced, but then there may be days where you come in and you're fully participating and answering all the questions. So they could just be a switch in mood.
When students with mental health conditions struggle with executive functioning, faculty may observe issues with inconsistent attendance and late arrivals to class, frequent absences, missed deadlines, frequent requests for exceptions, e.g., submitting late work, or difficulties with time management. Optimism. Students with mental health conditions may struggle to remain optimistic and hopeful. They may experience feelings of inadequacy, sense of imposterism, especially among students of color, feeling overwhelmed, losing perspective on their pursuit of goals, and feelings of hopelessness.
I think this is a really important topic. Students who live with mental health conditions are often told by society, by their families, by the medical system to lower their expectations, to sometimes you should step out of life and just focus on getting better. And if we think developmentally about where young adults are when they're going off to college, this is incredibly discouraging and disheartening to hear. And it can really impact their ability to feel hopeful, to hold on to hope that I'm going to be able to live the life that I always wanted and that I hope for, and that I'm dreaming about, and to have that constantly being knocked down by lots of institutions, and also by well-meaning care providers as well. We tell students, so maybe you need to withdraw and maybe think about something else and not major in that. It might be too stressful. Meanwhile, that's something that's really meaningful and valued by the student. And so that can really diminish students' hope and their sort of motivation to participate in the activities that they're in, because they feel like they're not going to be able to achieve what they want. So helping students hold on to their hopes and dreams is vital to students learning how to live well with their mental health conditions.
When students with mental health conditions struggle to stay optimistic, faculty may observe issues with disengagement from coursework, particularly if they were doing well previously, loss of motivation to engage in academic work, disengagement from college life. Social interactions. Having a mental health condition can interfere with a student's social interactions, including with classmates, faculty, other peers, and staff. This may result in loneliness and social isolation, a sense that one does not belong, interpersonal difficulties with classmates or faculty, reduced class participation, difficulties engaging in group or partner projects, and aversion to approaching faculty or other school resources to address their academic difficulties.
And I think as a faculty member, it's very important to recognize these signs. And I think I have asked students to come and talk to me in the time since. I have become better about seeking these students out and just ask, what's going on? Is there some way I can support you? Because we are here for you to learn well. And I think it's important to realize again that they might not know what's going on so well themselves.
So faculty members could support college students by just, just believing in them and letting them know that, I'm here for you. Come to me with questions if you need to. You don't have to hold their hands, but you can say just a little bit of extra support could go a long way. And I think that, just that little extra effort would be great. And, I understand that it's college and people, you're kind of on your own, but sometimes it's good to know that we're all humans and it's, we're just people. So
additional considerations. Medication. Sometimes students with mental health conditions who are prescribed medication stop their medication regimens. Faculty may notice a change in their academic performance as a result. Some medications have negative side effects, which include energy changes, drowsiness or fatigue, slowed response time, difficulty initiating interpersonal contact, physical symptoms, dry mouth, thirst, blurred vision, or hand tremors. Reflect on situations in which students with mental health conditions may have experienced symptoms that challenged their progress in your course. What you can do in the future to support students with mental health conditions who may be struggling with issues related to energy, executive functioning, difficulties staying hopeful, or challenges to interacting with you, their classmates, or others. The next video in this series will address accommodations for students with mental health conditions. Transitions ACR would like to thank the students, faculty members, and experts who shared their experience and expertise.